Good morning, Enid. It is Thursday, August 25th, and thank you for joining us. We've got some news, weather, and sports, and we have a local Enid Young Professional with us today. We're excited that you've joined us as well here at 7:30 on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Enid. It is time to rise and shine. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, AJ. Just a reminder, we've got Chris Sneed, Dane Tate, Ben Klein, and AJ Wells behind the scene that help us every Thursday morning for Good Morning Enid, and we appreciate everyone working to do our little local live show that we do every Thursday, and we appreciate you joining us as well on Channel 12 and 112. Also, tell your friends you can watch this live streaming on enidtv.org. So. Holding steady at 72 degrees under mostly clear skies. We had a rather exciting evening starting at 6 o'clock last night when the clouds came in, the heavy rain and lightning and some winds. We had a little over an inch of rain. And out at the farm where I live, I thought it was closer to 3 inches because, man, it really poured. But we needed the water, so hopefully you got a drink as well. High today is going to be 91 degrees if you're planning your day. And we can take a look at the current temperatures across the state of Oklahoma. And you can see all the way from Big Cedar to Winoka, upper 60s, low 70s. Like I said, we're at 72. So you can kind of see where the clouds are and where the clouds aren't. Fairland at the perfect 72 degrees. But that's what it looks like across the state. And if we can bring up the radar, just to let you know that a front has kind of passed through the area. And you can kind of see the line, if you will. And also the showers, of course, always seem to follow or precede a front that's moving through the area. So we've kind of got some showers in the area. So if you're planning to drive across the state, at least you know what the weather looks like. And for if you're planning for the weekend, here it is, August 25th. It is moving right along. Football season is just days away for high school and the collegiate level as well, but 3-day forecast. Thank you, Penn. As you see right there, if you're planning the next couple days, high tomorrow, 90. And again, Sunday's looking pretty good. Saturday's looking pretty nice. Going to have a little humidity there because of the area showers, but 90s, 60s, late August, that's not bad at all. Of course, the winds will be out of the south. So speaking of Friday night lights, we are just, I guess tomorrow night, Enid Plainsman, they open up and go to Guthrie and play the Blue Jays. And again, that game's at 7 o'clock down at Guthrie. Hennessy's at Oklahoma Christian. That's a 7 o'clock game as well. Garber will visit Kremlin Hillsdale, and that's a 7:30 game. And one thing that we found out, there's some games start at 7, 7:30, and some at 8 o'clock. So in the old days, everything started at 8 o'clock, but those days are gone. So you have to really check local listings, check with your school. So you see right there, 7, 7:30 are some of the starts of some of those. So, well, I'm really excited about our guest that we have. This is show number 84. Can you believe it? It's just amazing, and we appreciate the opportunity to come into your home. And we also like to highlight a special Enid guest, and we have an Enid Young Professional that will be joining us here in just a few moments. But in case you're wondering what happened in the news overnight in Oklahoma, let's bring in the bow tie guy. Check out his bow tie this morning, if you would. We have Derek Silas with the Oklahoma Minute.
In local news, the election results are in. Enid residents approved a sale tax increase to fund a waterline pipeline from Caw Lake. City Manager Gerald Gilbert says an overview of Phase 2 will be presented at the City Commission meeting September 8. Republican candidate Roland Peterson won the Senate's 19 runoff with 60.33% in his favor and will face Democrat Rhonda Harlow and Independent Whitney Hall in the November 8 election. And the tax to fund the Garfield County Detention Facility passes 60.51% in favor. In Oklahoma State Capitol news, employees at the Oklahoma Department of Labor plant a redbud tree in remembrance of the late Commissioner Mark Costello, who served as Commissioner of Labor from 2011 to 2015. And Governor Fallin signed election proclamations that place 5 additional state questions on the November 8 general election. Well, are you ready for some football? We are. You can watch Enid Plainsman Football 2016 with Steve Keim and Coach Steve Hayes at enidtv.org or channel 11 or 111 in high definition each week. The schedule for the remainder of this week is Thursday, 8:30 p.m., Friday, 5 p.m., Saturday, 10:30 a.m., and Sunday, 8:30 p.m. After losing football gear in a fire, Little Axe High School gets help from rival schools. Bishop McGuinness High School lent 80 helmets. Moore, Noble, and Lexington school districts handed over shoulder pads and cleats. And as a reminder, Enid residents are asked to take the curbside recycling survey at enid.org/recycling survey. And on this day in history, in 1939, The Wizard of Oz debuts in theaters in the United States. And in 1950, in anticipation of a crippling strike by railroad workers, President Harry S. Truman issues an executive order putting America's railroads under the control of the U.S. Army. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve.
Wow, Derek, you're just a wealth of information. Very impressive. That's a lot of info. And that's a great story about Little Axe High School with that fire and all the area schools donating equipment so they can scrimmage on Friday night and then open their season next week. And that's typical Oklahoma standard, how people just rise up to the occasion to help people out. So, well, it's 7:37. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Enid. Holding steady at 72 degrees. High today is going to be around 91 under a mostly clear sky. And due to the rain last night, the inch or plus rain, probably going to be humid today with all the moisture in the air. Well, a special time, we have Rose Kluwer. Our friend Rose is at Meadow Points. There she is. Well, this young lady is turning 100 next Wednesday, August 30th, Tuesday. On August 30th, she turns 100. But she's got this right. She's starting her party on Saturday. So she's starting early. Rose Kluwer, we wish you the best. Bless you. 100th birthday next week on August 30th. But they're going to have a celebration for her at Meadow Points. And you can check out that festivity. So Saturday is the start of her party. Also want to say happy belated birthday to Viva Lovett. Viva turned 93. There she is blowing out not 93 candles, but at least the candles that state 93. Viva, we wish you the best as well as you celebrated your 93rd. And then my best friend's having a birthday this week, and I think she celebrates it all week as well, Dr. Lovett. We want to say happy birthday to her, and let's see. I think she's a 1958 model. I've always wanted a 58 Chevy Bel Air. But anyway, I don't know what that has to do with that. But anyway, Dr. Lovett, happy birthday. We appreciate that. And let's go with our school lunches if we can right now with all the birthdays. And just remind everybody, if you do have a birthday, send it to us at gme@enid.org. So, I'm sorry. There's the information right there. Send us your birthday pictures or events, and we'll put that on the air. Now the school lunches. Pre-K all the way up to 5th grade. This is what we're having. Fish sticks today. That looks pretty good. Fridays, more on the grilled cheese sandwich, oven potatoes, pork and beans. Let me stand in line for that. Anyway, as you're planning your day, that is what the school lunches are. Well, it's 7:39. Thank you for joining us. And enough of these announcements. Let's get to our special guest. And right now it's time for One-on-One with Jamara.
Our special guest on One-on-One with Jamara is Kegan Tuohy. He's the board president of the Enid Young Professionals. Kegan, thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
What is the Enid Young Professionals organization?
Well, the Enid Young Professionals, or EYP, is a social club here in Enid geared towards young professionals living and working in the community and the surrounding areas. And we try and provide an outlet for these young individuals who have a willingness to serve their community and network with other like-minded people. But one of our primary missions for the club is not just to network with other young professionals, but help our members obtain and foster relationships with community, civic, and government leaders throughout Enid. And I would say that the average age of our club members tend to be in the mid to late 20s. And oftentimes we find ourselves in the infancy stages of our careers. So having this club and having this outlet, this really aids in our professional development, and it gives us a chance to meet other people and to really jump into the community and get a feel for how things work. And we're very fortunate, I think, to have a group like this. And we do have different events every month. One thing that we meet every third Thursday of the month it's called our Thirsty Third Thursday night. And this is, think of it as an informal networking session. We meet at a different restaurant around town, and there's really no structure to it. You can just talk and hang out and get to know one another. And that, like I said, that happens on the third Thursday of every month. Last month we went to Callahan's, and we had about 30 or 40 people come.
Wow,
and it's a lot of fun, and especially for those people that are new to Enid, it gives them a chance to meet other young individuals.
Now, Kegan, as the president of the Enid Young Professionals, what would you describe are your main duties? What do you need to make sure happens this year?
Well, as the president of the Enid Young Professionals, I preside over the monthly meetings, and I act as a liaison to the community at large. And there are a lot of events to plan, and I couldn't do this on my own. And I'd like to mention that I do work with a very talented group of individuals that are the board members I serve along with, and they help me every step of the way, and I really couldn't do it without them. And I'd like to just mention some of them.
Yes.
We have Brooke Bodie, she is our vice president, and she's the sales manager for the Central National Bank Center. We have Shailene Jones, and she operates our Facebook page, and she is a marketing assistant for Chisholm Trail Expo Center. Jennifer Seegers works in human resources at St. Mary's. Shelby Unruh, public relations with Weimer Brownlee. Bill O'Malley is the marketing coordinator for the CNB Center. Tandra Johnson is the senior associate with BKD. Kylie Flanning is public relations for Autry Tech. And Whitney Hall is the quality control manager for Oxbow Chemical, and she is our immediate past president. So like I said, I'm very fortunate to have this very competent group of people that I get to work with, and they help me every step of the way planning our different events. For instance, today we have a lunch and learn at Autry Technology Center. And I mentioned our third Thursday socials earlier. That's a more informal setting, but this is our monthly, you could say, one of our structured events. And we will, on the fourth Thursday, we'll have a lunch and learn, and we'll invite a local community leader to come talk to us about a topic that's of relevance to young professionals. This afternoon, Steve Hayes, the coach of the Enid High Plainsmen, he is coming to speak on the importance of community leadership, especially as it pertains to young professionals. And this will be held today at Autry Technology Center at noon, and lunch will be provided. We do have a lunch and learn sponsor that's jumped on with us this year that will be funding all our meals, and we're very lucky to have NBC Oklahoma as our sponsor, and we're glad the bank has stepped in and agreed to provide lunches. So this is open to anybody, no matter what your age is. We just ask that you RSVP through the club.
Okay, that's really, really nice. And Kegan, I think that the Enid Young Professionals serves as a mentor program. As you say, young professionals going out for that first time, it's really good to know that someone is out there that has been in the job maybe for a while longer, and they can teach you from their experiences what to do, what not to do, what works best.
Sure, and it's a great jumping off point when you, especially when you graduate from college and when you start your first
Yes.
job, it can be an intimidating process. And having this support system and going to the monthly events and monthly meetings, it does a lot. It does a lot.
Well, sounds like a wonderful organization. Now, Kegan, tell me about the upcoming event, 10 Under 40.
The 10 Under 40. Now, this is an annual banquet that we do, and you can consider this our big event. And the 10 Under 40 banquet, this is our way of showcasing 10 upstanding individuals under the age of 40 that have given back to their community. And this isn't just judged on professional achievements, but this is judged on your volunteer activities, your civic involvements. It's an across the board type thing. And we seek to identify 10 well-rounded individuals who have excelled in multiple facets of the community, not just professionally, but personally and civically as well.
Now, can you go over some of the characteristics that a recipient needs to have, a prospective recipient, to be nominated?
Well, anybody can be nominated. The stipulation is you must be under the age of 40 and 22 or above. And you can be nominated by a coworker, even a spouse or a sibling or any community member. And when you're nominated, should you accept the nomination, then we will compile your information and we will send it off to the judges.
Okay.
And this year we have 36 nominees. And one thing that we do, when we send their information off to the judges, it is blind judging. So for instance, they will submit our resume to us, we'll take their name off the resume, and then they'll answer a series of short answer essay questions pertaining to their professional achievements, their volunteer work, their civic involvements, and essentially why they choose Enid. And through those questions, we take away any gender identifiers. If there's the word he or she, we'll change it to a non-gender identifying noun like nominee or individual. So when we send these off to the judges, their names aren't mentioned, and we just try and keep it essentially blind, so people don't know who it is. And in some cases, you're going to know who the person is because two of our judges are from Enid. And so if you see the resume that says their job title and their history, some of us might have an idea of where they're from. But that's why one thing that's different about this year, we have brought in an out-of-town judge from Edmond, because we wanted to bring in someone that had no preconceived notion or no connections to Enid. And that was our way of trying to level the playing field, because we want to make this solely about their achievements in the community.
Now, Kegan, if we go over the event information again so that people know when the event will take place, I think we have a slide that we can have up with the event information. It's taking place on August 30th, that's next Tuesday, from 11:30 to 1 p.m. And it's gonna be at the Central National Bank Center. Now, Kegan, do they have to RSVP for this? Is this an event free of charge, or how does it work?
It's not free of charge. Those 36 nominees will get in free. And lunch is provided, but you will need to purchase. You can purchase a ticket at the door. We'd love for you to RSVP to us, but you can walk in, purchase a ticket at the door for $20, or you can purchase a table for $150. If your company or business would like to join in, just call us and we can reserve a table. And one more thing I do want to mention, I want to thank our signature sponsor, which is Edward Jones. They have put on this event for us, and they have been very generous, and we're really pleased with the financial advisors in that organization, and we're happy to have them on board as our signature sponsor.
Well, Kegan, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate all the information you brought. It's really good to know that there's such a wonderful program in Enid. For more information on the Enid Young Professionals, you can visit enidyp.com, or you can email at the email address shown on the screen. You can send an email and someone from the organization will contact you. Thank you for watching One on One with Jamara. Now, let's watch an informational video about how to apply for a job with the City of Enid. And we have Mariam feature on this video. Let's watch.
Welcome to the City of Enid. Bienvenidos a la ciudad de Enid. Permítame enseñarle el cuarto donde puede llenar su aplicación. Antes de que usted aplique, va a necesitar un correo electrónico y acceso al Internet. Usted puede llenar su aplicación aquí, en la librería o en la comodidad de su hogar. La ciudad de Enid provee una oportunidad igualitaria a todos los empleados y los solicitantes. Primero diríjase a www.enid.org y seleccione Employment o Empleo al lado izquierdo de la página. Ahora va a ser llevado a la página de carrera. Esta es la lista de los empleos disponibles. Esta lista le enseña información de cada posición disponible, como por ejemplo el salario inicial y la fecha límite para aplicar. Seleccione el empleo que más le interese. Si le interesa, seleccione Aplicar para este trabajo en línea, en la parte de arriba al lado derecho de la página. Si usted es un nuevo candidato o nunca ha aplicado para la ciudad de Enid, presione Crear formulario en línea o puede crear su cuenta con Facebook, Google o LinkedIn. Si usted ya tiene una cuenta, simplemente introduzca su información. Ya que haya creado su formulario en línea, presione Enviar perfil. Ahora va a ser dirigido a la aplicación. Ya que haya terminado de llenar la aplicación, presione Enviar. Le recomendamos que presione Guardar cada 30 minutos mientras que esté llenando la aplicación. Después, se le van a hacer preguntas específicas a la posición del cual ha estado aplicando. Cuando haya terminado, presione Enviar de nuevo. Va a haber un mensaje verde arriba de la página informándole que su aplicación ha sido enviada exitosamente. También recibirá un correo electrónico confirmando que su aplicación ha sido recibida. La ciudad lo mantendrá al tanto de su aplicación vía correo electrónico y su número de teléfono que usted nos proveó. Gracias por su interés en la ciudad de Enid y mucha suerte en su aplicación.
I'm sorry, Miriam. I did not understand a word you said, but it was very good. No, just serious. We appreciate Miriam, and I hope you enjoyed that video on how to apply for a job opportunity at the City of Enid. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us for our 84th show on this Thursday, August 25th. Holding steady, 72 degrees. However, the high today is going to be 91 under a mostly clear sky. It's 7:52, and now to recap the news from overnight, here's Derek Silas, the bow tie guy with the Oklahoma Minute.
In local news, the election results are in. Enid residents approved a sales tax increase to fund a water pipeline from Caw Lake. And Republican candidate Roland Peterson won the Senate 19 runoff with 60.33% in his favor. Tax to fund the Garfield County detention facility passes 60.51% in favor. And Oklahoma State Capitol news, employees at the Oklahoma Department of Labor plant a red bud tree in memory of the late Commissioner Mark Costello, who served as Commissioner of Labor from 2011 to 2015. And Governor Fallin signed election proclamations that place 5 additional state questions on the November 8 general election. Well, are you ready for some football? We are. You can watch Enid Plainsman football 2016 with Steve Keim and Coach Steve Hayes at enidtv.org or on Channel 11 or 111 in high definition each week. After losing football gear in a fire, Little Axe High School gets help from rival schools. Bishop McGuinness High School lent 80 helmets. Moore, Noble, and Lexington school districts handed over school shoulder pads and cleats. And as a reminder, Enid residents are asked to take the curbside recycling survey at enid.org/recycling survey. And on this day in history, and here's a hint, Somewhere over the rainbow. Yes, that's right. In 1939, The Wizard of Oz debuts in theaters in the United States. And in 1950, in anticipation of a crippling strike by railroad workers, President Harry S. Truman issues an executive order putting America's railroads under the control of the U.S. Army. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve.
Now we have a singing newsman. I like that. So it's 7:55. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate that. I'd like to remind you, if your schedule permits, at 8 o'clock this morning, we have a special guest, Chuck May, AAA Oklahoma, talks to us about defensive driving and the deadly D's of driving, and also this crayon initiative that AAA is involved in. You ever wondered what to do with those crayons that they're too small to use? Well, AAA has this initiative to recycle those, and that's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Let's take a look at the 3-day forecast as you plan for your weekend, Friday through Sunday. As you can see, not too bad for late August. Low 90s, 60s in the morning. Tell you what, you can tell these early mornings when it's around 67 degrees. Very nice. Well, school's back in session, and we have a great safety promo that we'd like to show you right now real quick. Has to deal with crosswalks and just slowing down because school is open. Let's look at that right now.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Eric Reddick, Enid Police Department, Sergeant of the Traffic Division. It's school time again, which means you will probably be driving through a school zone during your day. Always observe the speed limit posted in a school zone, and watch out for children crossing the street. If a crossing guard enters a school crossing with his or her stop sign held up, be sure to stop. When you see a school bus turn on its flashing red lights and deploy its stop sign, traffic coming from both directions must stop. Remember especially to keep an eye out for children crossing the street. Let's make this a safe school year. Thank you.
Good morning, Enid. It's 7:57. If you have room in your heart, in your backyard, in your house for a pet, here's an opportunity for you to help us out as you adopt a pet from the Animal Control Office.
Hi.
We are located at 1200 South 10th here in Enid, Oklahoma, and our phone number is 580-249-4910.
And oh, by the way, thank you, Penn. You can adopt me at 249-4910 as we put up the pet promo. There I am. So seriously, we appreciate all the work that you're doing to help us adopt many of the pets that we have at Animal Control. 249-4910. Well, good morning, Enid. We're about out of time for this Thursday, August 25th. We certainly appreciate you joining us. And Kegan Tuohy, we appreciate Kegan joining us from Enid Young Professionals as well. And Rose Kluwer, happy birthday, happy number 100 birthday to you as you celebrate Saturday through next Tuesday. So, Rose, we wish you the best. And we wish you the best. Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Enid. I'm Steve Keim. Until next time, make it a great day.